It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Monday, December 8th. We made it to another Monday. I'm always like, we made it to a Friday, and then it's Monday. It comes so fast. That's what she said. Oh my God. We are here. Another Monday. How fast these things arrive. The weekends, they fly. I am still of the belief that we should have 4-day work weeks, 3-day weekends. Anyone with me? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Hello and welcome to the show. I'm so excited to chat with you guys today. It's only been 2 days, but it feels like it's been forever. It feels like it's been forever. Thank you for becoming a member, Trent. It was so nice to see your face on Friday night in our live Patreon. Friday night, for anyone that was in our Patreon upper tier, we had a happy hour Zoom, and we got to hang out, and I got to see your faces, and we got to gossip, and we got to chat, we got to drink, and we got to hang out, and it was so fun. We got to talk about all kinds of fun things. And I've got a little special treat for you guys, and anyone actually that was part of the Patreon in the lower tier too got a special treat by watching the full Maureen Callahan interview, early access to the Maureen Callahan interview last night. Did you watch it? I hope you did. It was really, really fun to interview Maureen last week, but I got to share it with you guys yesterday. So I hope you watched it. I love Maureen. I'm going to share a little clip with you in just a bit here before I get to air it for everyone on YouTube. But it was such a great interview. I love Maureen. And you know how I felt about her Karen Reed take. Don't get me started. But her other takes are great. Almost every one of her other takes are phenomenal. Okay, we have a lot to talk about today. A lot. Friday night, we had this huge Mormon wives kind of mimicking a Blake Justin situation lawsuit. And I love it. Marciano finally is fighting back against Demi. And we're going to go through it. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And I think it's an open shut case. We'll have to see. Taylor Swift and Selena, like out with the old, in with the new. Blake, who we don't know her. Although Blake Lively's team did release this new recording to strengthen their smear campaign case, although it ain't nothing. We don't even have one. There's no smear campaign. It's bull crap. We know the truth, and just let the Blake bots keep running with their little story. We'll talk all about that. Plus, the Summer House trailer came out. Oh my God, it looks so good. I'm going to tell you guys all about the show that I'm watching, a new show I'm watching. There's so much to talk about. Okay, I'm listening to a new book. I'm watching a new show. I mean, I have so much to talk about. I just need to get this show started. So everyone, get your arms ready, okay? Get your arms ready because it's time to sprinkler. Everyone, it's your daily dose of Donna. All right, T. Thank you so much for being here. Did you guys hit the subscribe? I hit 53,000 subscribers over the weekend. Woo, 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 woo. Hit that 53K. I always love when I hit a new tier. It's so cool. 53. Almost how old I feel today. You guys, okay, a little bit of goss. So over the weekend, I spent my Saturday night at a bar mitzvah at my best friend Valerie's son's bar mitzvah. And it was really fun. And it's really cool to spend, like Valerie and I met actually when our sons, my oldest and her oldest, were 4 weeks old. And they were in Mommy and Me. Okay. This was like when you're in the depths of despair in new mom hell. You guys know if you're mamas, right? You literally have no idea what you're doing. I had no idea what was happening. I randomly signed up for this Mommy and Me. I didn't even know that there was a Mommy and Me like thing. I was not tuned in. I was not like one of the moms that understood all I didn't get it. Okay. I jumped into mamahood, like new mom life. I got dropped in there. I didn't understand that like your life changed. I don't know what I was thinking. I just became a mom and like I thought my life was going to be the same. I don't know what I was not prepared for what hit me. I should do an entire series on Patreon about how my life got turned upside down when I became a mom. You would literally die, you guys. I was a mess. So I was driving home. I was actually a passenger in Lance's car. He was driving me home from our pediatricians, and I had to get new. Any men in the audience right now are going to want to jump. They're going to want to say bye. I had to get new nipple pads because I was leaking. Okay, hi. And this is mom life. And I had to go, and there was like a new mom store. It was called Mother's Haven. If you're here in LA, you'll know it. It was in Encino. And so I had to stop there. On the way home, I said, Lance, just pull over. I have to get, like, I'm leaking through all my shirts, all my nursing bras, like, right? So I stopped there and I go in and I'm like, I just don't know. My son's not sleeping through the night, whatever. And they were like, you need to join a mommy and me group. I said, I do. I don't know. I don't even know like how. They said we have a new one starting this weekend. You should join. And I was like, okay. So I go over there, and I mean, it was so hard to get there with the new baby, like shaking the baby, crying, like no, I wasn't shaking the baby. Everyone calm down, but like shh, 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 shh. And finally, I get there and I look around all these moms, and some of them looked so happy with their 3-week-old, 4-week-old babies. Oh, and then there was me, like, oh God, I was sweating out of everywhere. I was like dying. I was dying. And I look over and I see Valerie, and she just has the nicest, biggest smile. And she looks at me and she goes, hi. And I was like, hi. And I go and sit next to her. And she goes, what's your son's name? I said, Dylan. She goes, oh, mine's Leo. When's his birthday? And I go, November 13th. And she goes, oh, mine's November 5th. And I was like, oh my God, they're the same age basically. And she's like, yeah. And from that day on, we were best friends. So since our boys were 4 weeks old, we became best friends. And now the boys go to school together. And I am so grateful to be this girl's best friend. She's the best. She's a therapist. She's phenomenal. It was her son's bar mitzvah, and it was so cool to be there. And we were hanging out, we were having fun. And but I was hanging out with Teddy Mellencamp. A lot of you guys saw in my pictures on stories and stuff, because Teddy Mellencamp and Valerie are also best friends. That's how I know Teddy. She looks amazing, you guys. Teddy looks like a freaking, she's stunning. Stunning in person right now. And I honestly, I told her, I was like, you can pull off the short hair like nobody's business. If I, God forbid, had to cut my hair or shave it, I would be screwed. I don't think I have a good face for a bald head. But Teddy looks, she looks phenomenal. Let me see if I can even pull up pictures for you guys if you want to see. She looks so gorgeous. It's like wild. I'm like, you're not supposed to look this pretty. I mean, I say that as a joke. Obviously, she looks gorgeous. She looks unreal. But she looked, we were all there. We were having a great time. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. But it's kind of like a little bit blurred out when it's big, but here. We had so much fun. But the point is that I was talking, this is a bunch of the girls, and I was talking to Teddy and then her friend Lee Tall, and we were all talking about getting older. And I was like, you guys, I want more than anything to get a neck lift. Because when I was doing the banana bread video the other day, I don't know if you guys saw, I was doing a banana bread and I was filming from down here and I'm stirring the banana bread. And I said, uh-oh, mama needs a neck lift. And remember when Teddy Mellencamp went and did the neck lift on Instagram, and she like took us to the hospital with her and she took us through her entire surgery? And I said, I may ask for a neck lift for my birthday. And by ask for one, I may just get one. I mean, I can probably pay for it myself, right? Would you guys support me through a neck lift? This is what it's like getting older in LA. What do you think? I would like your opinions. Also, another thing I would like your opinions on is cutting my hair. Please let me know in the comments. Should I chop my hair? I remember I used to have short hair. Should I chop it? Should we go bob? And what about a little bit of a bang? So these are the things that I need help with, okay? So please leave your comments. Even the haters, leave your comments. All right? Oh, Kenny wants to know if I should do chin and neck stretches first. Yeah, but like, let's be real. Do they work? What if we what if you guys just saw me do this all day? I feel like I'm making it worse when I do this. Lance is probably wondering, what am I doing? Okay. So last night we had a really another really fun thing from the weekend. Oliver, my 10-year-old, won his first baseball tournament. He got a really big ring and it was so cool. He hit a 2-run home run out of the park and he won a baseball tournament. So it was a great weekend, you guys. I'm going to read your comments about, Texas Carol is like, no bang. No bang. Okay, don't bang. Do you hear that, Lance? We're not allowed to bang. No bangs in this house. Carol told me, no bang, no bang. Okay, no chopping, chop your hair. This is a lot. The Desert Darling says no chopping, but then Gwen says shorter hair makes you look younger. JB says tilt your head back and hold it to stretch your neck muscles. It looks like I'm doing something bad, you know? It does. Last night when we were home, the family, we watched Mean Girls. Lance had never watched Mean Girls. That movie holds up. That is a movie that will hold up for the ages. And you know what else about Mean Girls, you guys? Mean Girls is a movie that every line in Mean Girls is quoted still to that today. He doesn't even go here. I'm like a cool mom. Um, or she doesn't even go here. That's the line. I'm trying to think. The Regina George lines. I mean, there's so many. Fetch, obviously. There's so many lines in Mean Girls that are used on a daily basis. You can't sit with us. Exactly. How many lines from Mean Girls are instant quotable lines in a consistent time? On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Like, there is literally so many lines. It's really unbelievable. That movie is a good one. And Lance goes, it's so funny because I would never watch Mean Girls if not for, a family that wanted to watch it. It's totally uh, a movie that's like, it felt like it was just for girls. But he's like, it totally applies to boys too. It's really, really fun. Okay, so Patty's saying, I'm so confused. I thought I joined Patreon months ago. I seem to be missing everything. How can I tell? Help, please. I got a message like this from someone else saying, I joined Patreon and I have not seen any new episodes. If you have joined Patreon and you're actually paying the monthly subscription or the yearly subscription and you're not seeing new drops they're not called drops, like new episodes, at least once a week, something is wrong with your account. I unfortunately cannot fix that for you. It's a Patreon thing. So you have to go to Patreon. You have to reach out, like contact us, membership. It's a Patreon issue. I wish I could help that for you. But you should be getting new episodes every week or new lives. Like I'm there once a week on Patreon. There's only been like 1 or 2 weeks in 2 years that I have just skipped. I'm always there once a week. Okay. Speaking of Patreon, last night I had an episode with Maureen. I released it. It was great. We talked about Ask Not, which is her book about the Kennedys, in addition to George Clooney, in addition to Joan Rivers, in addition to Ryan Reynolds. We talked about so much. But I'm just going to play for you guys a little clip of when we talked about JFK Jr. and his plane accident, obviously, that ended up killing him and his wife, Carolyn, and her sister. It's actually a really, really crazy story. I learned so much in her book. I've talked about it so much. I really think everyone here needs to buy this book immediately. You learn so much about the Kennedys. She doesn't have a very good thing to say about the Kennedys, I'll tell you that, but let's watch it for yourself. Here's a little clip. Here's a 1-minute clip about what actually happened on the night of that plane ride that ended up obviously going down.
And I think that Ryan Murphy, I guess he's probably going to play it pretty safe and like tell like the version of events where it's like it's the Kennedy fairy tale and oh my God, and then there's the tragedy and it's like Greek myths and he flew too close to the sun. No, the guy got in a plane. He had no business flying at night. He was told multiple times, do not take off. Do not take off alone. He had a flight instructor offer to go with him. He said, absolutely not. His leg had just gotten out of a cast. He was seen swilling wine on that tarmac. The haze was so thick that far more experienced pilots were like, hey, I'm not going up. He takes his wife and his sister-in-law up. He turns off comms with ground control, with air traffic control. He did not file a flight plan, and he goes out over the open, dark water.
I'm an idiot.
I posit that this was a murder-suicide. I don't know if the guy was dialed into it or not. Everything in his life was falling apart. His wife was leaving him, his magazine was failing, and his sister wasn't speaking to him. He had zero internal resources because the guy had never been told no.
It's a crazy story, you guys. And I had no idea a lot of this. I learned so much about the Kennedys. And here's the thing is that she writes it, and I talked to her about this in this interview. By the way, you guys will see this if you don't want to watch it on Patreon. You will see this here on YouTube this week. But the reason why I loved it so much is it didn't read like a historical research book. It read like a novel. You get into the characters of the women. You get into the stories of the women, almost like you're reading a book from like a Real Housewives or a novel of fiction. Even though it's not fiction, it is very, very real and research. She doesn't make any of it up. It's not opinion based. It's nothing. Maureen is a journalist, and whether or not you like her opinions or not, this book is not an opinion. It is all research, and she took it very seriously. She talks about it. She goes straight to all of the locations where all of this happened. She is an avid Kennedy like obsessed person. So she took it very seriously. The stuff she's obsessed with Jackie O. So she talks about Jackie O throughout 4 different sections of the book because she says Jackie O lived 4 lives. I thought that was so interesting. And she really did. Definitely watch this interview and then read Ask Not. And also, I'm curious what you guys think about what Maureen has to say about Ryan Reynolds, who she thinks is horrendous. She thinks Ryan Reynolds should like go to prison. She thinks Ryan Reynolds should still be charged for setting his school on fire, if you remember that from back in the day. She thinks, who else does she not love? She doesn't love George Clooney. We get into that. There's a lot of people, John Hamm. She calls it her woodshed. It's really great. We have a great conversation about that. Now, while we're on the topic of Ryan Reynolds and everything, I don't really want to talk too much about Blake, but I guess we can talk for a few minutes about the fact that Blake Lively has been replaced, by the way. Blake Lively has been replaced by Selena Gomez. Blake Lively is so gone from Taylor Swift's life. It's like Taylor Swift doesn't even want to know that Blake Lively exists. I understand that because all Taylor cares about, and I'm sorry for all the Taylor lovers in my audience, and I know there are some of you guys because I got yelled at by those, but Taylor Swift really needs to protect everything in her reputation right now. Hello, reputation. And she truly is absolutely never going to she's never going to allow Blake Lively to take her down. It's not worth it. Blake Lively did a lot of damage to Taylor Swift already and continues to. And so, of course, she did go to the Chiefs game. We finally did see her in the box over the weekend, but she was not with Blake Lively. She was with Selena Gomez. Now, we didn't see her enter the stadium like we normally do. However, you guys, it was not a good game. Now, I didn't watch it. We were here watching the Bears game, and it wasn't a good game for the Bears. Okay. It was actually one of the first bad games for the Bears this season. But here is Selena making a face like she saw Travis Kelce do something bad. Here's Lena Dunham looking for snacks in her purse. I don't know why Lena Dunham is there. It looks very confusing to me, too. Taylor Swift is there, a couple other random people. This guy in the front looks like Mikhail Maroney. I have no idea what's going on. Truly, no idea. But Travis Kelce, I guess, did a bad job. I don't watch football unless I'm forced to. So it was not a good game for Kelce. This is Kelce's face after he realizes that he may lose Taylor Swift if he continues to do bad. This is Travis Kelce realizing literally that he's dropping the ball. This is Travis Kelce realizing that he probably will have a song written about him, a bad song. This is Patrick Mahomes talking about the fact that Taylor Swift can never come to games again because she's ruining the game. I don't know. This is Woody Marks, I guess, dancing. This is Taylor Swift's soon-to-be husband when he was arriving at the game thinking he was cool before he lost. And this is Donna Kelce, future Traders star, hugging him before the game. She's incidentally, she's wearing a bandolier. I love a bandolier. A bandolier is one of those straps with the phone. Love a bandolier. Zach is saying harassment. So is Donna harassing her son? Is that what you were saying? You're not allowed to do that? Not allowed to hug your son? Well, I'll just tell you, I'm not going to say anything, but I just watched The Girlfriend over the weekend, and I'm scared to hug my sons now. Is Travis Kelce over, you guys? Are we getting over Travis Kelce? I'm concerned that Travis Kelce, I think we're like on the verge of being done with Travis. I don't know enough about what happened over the weekend, but that was my section of the sports. That was my sports section of the day. Okay. Travis has a bad temper. Well, hopefully he doesn't take that temper out on Taylor. Can you just see? He's like, Taylor, I'm so annoyed. And she's like, best believe I still bejeweled when I walk in the room. I can still see my whole thing shimmer. And he's like, Taylor. And she's like, I'm a bad girl. Like he yells and she's like, I'm singing. Oh, yeah, they don't fight. That's true. No matter what. No matter what. Remember, they don't fight. Guys, don't ever see that they fight. They don't fight. He takes it out on the field. Do you think that they got in an argument last night? Do you think that after last night's game where he did bad and then he came home and she was like, honey, it's okay. Let me let a cat play with you and I'll make you a hot cocoa. And he's like, okay, I don't feel like dealing with it. And she's like, wow. Wow. When he starts to have a career down is when the fights are going to start. I'm not putting it out there. I'm just saying not everything is always going to be sunshine and rainbows. Okay? Things start to get bad in life, and that's when tensions start to rise. Not everything is always going to be wonderful in life. Why do I have these fantasies? Am I having a fantasy? Is this a fantasy? When I sleep at night, I have fantasies about Taylor and Travis fighting with sourdough bread. Do you think when they fight, they just take their sourdough starter and toss it at the wall? What if that was his way of fighting with her? He's like, I'm not going to fight with her, but I'm going to mess with that starter. That's going to be her next album, The Baker's Dozen. I feel like that it's totally going to be a Baker-related album. The Baker's Overcooked, Overdone. That's going to be the next album. It's going to be something about like burnt. Just going to be called Burnt Bread, Burnt Toast. All right. Anyway, Blake Lively has this new recording that has been released in the lawsuit world. And I don't need to play it. Well, I'll just say this. The Jed Wallace is the person behind this this recording. Kirsty Flaw. I love saying her name. She's going to be on my show this week. She and I are collabing this week, and I haven't talked to her on my show for months. I haven't been on her show for months, so hopefully we can both do each other's show this week. She played a little bit of the recording on her show. Let me see if I can just find exactly where it is on her show. But this is a piece of recording that was revealed from Blake's side in this last set of documents, in this huge amount of documents. And it was revealed as like a way for them to be like, see, Jed Wallace was sending all this information. This is proof of a smear campaign. But to be honest, if you actually listen to what Jed Wallace is saying, it's a big old bag of nothing.
It. And that's exactly what I think this new recording also does. If you follow this case closely, you know that last week they were held him and bullied me by that she can use. And as from Justin Baldoni and the Wayfair parties, they published it. You listen to the rest of this.
Here's what happens. If we're sending them a link to something, we're sending them a link to where this video lives, right? Now, that could be in its own separate space, but I defer to Rosa and her engineers to figure out the best way, because ideally what happens is we're sending people, or whomever the recipient is, an entire file, right, that they can then have, and that file is something that they're going to embed into their website, right? Not a link. So what Rose is saying is like, okay, she has access to this file. She could send a WeTransfer link, which will have the link itself would be extinguished after a while, but she could send the entirety of the file to whoever the recipient is. Like, that's the idea. We want to send the individual file. We don't want it posted someplace yet, right? Once we have our site up, then it could be posted to the site. But given the circumstances, we don't want to have it posted someplace where they could potentially access another drop, whatever it is. So logistically, the best thing, and Rosa, I'm leaning on you and your engineers to determine how best to effectuate this. But logistically, it's if Jen says, hey, we need to get the file to this person, then we could send a WeTransfer link to the actual file itself, and then the link will destroy itself, right? But then they actually have the entire folder. But Rosa, connect with Jason just so we can figure out what the best way to do that is. So this is not something that's connected to anything that has any other legs or access to other files, if you know what I'm saying.
As you could hear, all they talk about here is cybersecurity. And this is before, it sounds like this is before that website was up and running.
Just to be clear, this is a recording that Jed Wallace was sending to Skyline Security. Skyline something. Skyline Security is Teddy Mellencamp's ex-husband Edwin's company, so I don't think that's Skyline Security. Skyline Production, Skyline Studio, whatever. Skyline is the website company that did lawsuitinfo.com or whatever their website is. That's it. So all he's saying is how he's going to send the information to them. WeTransfer, for anyone that doesn't understand what WeTransfer is what I used to send all the photos and videos for Dylan's montage for his bar mitzvah. There's nothing weird about using WeTransfer. It's how a lot of actors send audition tapes for casting directors. It's how a lot of people send videos. I mean, there's nothing weird, nothing strange, nothing odd, nothing, nothing. Oh my God, I love Tony coming in saying my neck looks good. Now I will not touch my neck because of you, Tony. I appreciate you. I love you. So it's absolutely like he's just giving his advice as someone that understands tech and how to send in a piece of information. He's not like, this is how we're going to send the information so that what's going to happen is that it's going to get seeded and then everyone is going to get the information. They're going to believe that Blake Lively is a bad cunt who's going to do this and going to go and he's not giving strategy in the sense of like, I want all the content creators to believe that Blake Lively is a lying piece of shit. No, he's essentially just saying this is how we're going to get the information over to the website. That's it. It's not a smear campaign. It's such bullshit. Now, I want to share the beginning of the recording, which I didn't yet. The very beginning of the recording says this.
Before Blake came out and twisted things around again. So I'm going to play for you first the beginning of this recording.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, again, that's the irony of their claim that I have this like magic bot army, right? Like, I've never executed a bot in my life. I just know, logistically speaking.
As you're getting,
I've never hired a bot in my life. It's the irony of their claim. I just know, logistically speaking. Obviously, he didn't assume that anyone was going to get this audio later. He's sending this, not thinking that this is going to be in a court claim later. He's saying this because he's truly believing that what he's saying. He's like, I don't have a bot army. I don't understand where this claim is coming from, but this is how things are. What is she doing? What is Blake Lively doing? When I say Blake, I mean her team. It's so insane. Now, at the same time, her people, her like creators that are pushing her narrative big time are very, very, very intent on taking stuff like this, just the fact that he was sending the information and immediately, of course, jumping and running with it hardcore, saying like, there you go, folks. There you go, closed case. Obviously, this means that there was a smear campaign, that this is a full, true smear campaign. And I'm not seeing any of it. I'm not seeing any proof of that whatsoever. He was what I was going to show you here, of course, is Ex-Patriarch, because this is Ryan Reynolds, I believe, very strongly. I believe this is Blake Lively's mouthpiece. Hold on. Where did he say this? He said, oh my God, he tweets a million times a day about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. It's crazy. That's all he talks about. Newly released. Well, he reposted saying newly released. Oh no, he wrote this. Newly unsealed audio of Jed Wallace reveals Baldoni's team discussing how to leak files to creators and media with links that will destroy itself without allowing them to potentially access another drop. 3 days later, Baldoni's team leaked the dance video to Daily Mail, TMZ, and Andy Signor. In a sworn declaration, Jed stated he was only monitoring social media and took no active part in the smear campaign against Blake Lively. So he's using this conversation that Jed has, which is basically just saying, here's like a little piece of advice on how to send a big file. And he's turning this around to say, there you go. Jed was actively part of the smear campaign. Now, by the way, releasing the dance video to TMZ, to the website, all of that, that's not a smear campaign. That is literally just releasing actual, true. Oh, you want me to make it bigger, Laura? Sorry. Actual, true footage from what happened on the film. The dance scene actually cannot be ever considered a smear campaign because the dance scene is up for interpretation. It's not an opinion. It's footage of what actually happened in that moment, in that scene. She said her version of events. He said his version of events. But the dance scene was an actual like eyes and ears version of what actually happened. It was the truth. Now, people still watch that dance scene and said, I still see that she's acting A, B, and C. Like we all interpreted it our own ways. But is not a smear campaign. That's evidence of that's actual evidence of what went down on the set. That's just like the video that was released the other day of what happened in the bar. That's not smear campaign. It's insane. It's actually insane. Everything that this guy tweets and writes is so twisted. It's so strange to me that he actually, and someone said, Trish actually, who's she's on X, she messaged this morning and she said this. She goes, ear shape, eyebrows, nose shape, hairline, not exact but close. Am I crazy or do you see it too? Anti-misogyny men's advocate. Sounds like Ryan Reynolds' sense of humor, another version of his nice pool alter ego. Look, this is him, the biggest advocate for Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok, and on Threads. It's giving stalkery, huh? Just saying. Just saying. But if you are only online and seeing just those tidbits, you're going to believe a certain narrative of this whole case. But none of it matters. I mean, like I said, I don't know if I said it. Oh, I told you guys on the Patreon happy hour that there's a big Bravo creator, and he doesn't talk about the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case at all. And there's a lot of these Bravo creators that kind of stayed away from covering this case at all. And I think it's because either A, they're very pro Blake, or B, they don't want to touch it because they don't want to not believe women. And on Friday during the day, he put something on Threads that said, wow, he like quoted the circumcision article, the headline from the circumcision article. And he was like, and with a meme, like a Nene meme, where he was like, weird. And everyone in the comments, all these Bravo creators were like, Justin Baldoni is so weird. Justin Baldoni is kind of gross. Like, I always believed Blake Lively. And I thought to myself, like, this is really strange to me. Because most of these Bravo creators, I thought, are pretty discerning about like problematic women and smart women and like the difference. And yet, it's really interesting how in this case, they're not able to discern it. Like they believe Blake big time. They think Justin Baldoni's the creep. And I'm always wondering like how? It's like the girls from The Toast or Not Skinny But Not Fat. Like there's certain creators out there that really, really, really believe Blake still. So I'm very surprised by it all. And I wonder if they're like, if it's still a business thing or if what's the deal, you know? Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. So cute, you guys. Okay, sorry. I just got a little personal, exciting news for myself. I have a new nephew. My little sister just had her baby. I just got a picture. It's so exciting. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, I'm dying. So cute. Literally. Oh my God, my heart just stopped. So sweet. Okay, back to the show. I'll talk about that another time. Okay. So, oh my God, little babies are so cute. Should I have another one? Just kidding. That game is over. Okay, so back to Blake Lively. Yeah, we're done with her. Now a little segue from this Blake Lively thing. Let's talk about this Mormon wife situation. I find this fascinating. So on Friday night, right after the Patreon was over, Maddie's asking where do they live. So I have 3 sisters. I have 4 sisters. I have so many siblings, but I have 3 sisters. 2 of them live here in LA and 1 of them lives in Arizona. She's finishing her residency as a pediatrician. And she just had a baby. I love her. Okay, so let's talk about Marciano versus Demi. So on Friday night, right after I finish our Patreon happy hour, I open up online, or during the Patreon happy hour, we find out that Marciano is suing Demi for defamation because she was calling him out as for sexual assault from this last season of Mormon Wives. I talked about it on my stories. I covered it, but on my Instagram and everything. But just let me go over it with you guys. I have the complaint in front of me and I want to talk about it. Before the complaint actually came out, Demi did a lot of damage in this last season. And I find this to be an incredible parallel in a different way, but a parallel to the Blake and Justin story. And I'm very, very, very interested to see how this goes versus how the Justin and Blake story goes. I think it's going to go very well for Marciano. I have to say already, I already have a good feeling, but already I'm not seeing a lot of people on Demi's side. Meanwhile, a few days before, or like a day before maybe the lawsuit came out, Demi was on Entertainment Tonight. She was interviewed. And this is the kind of talking points that she had. Let me show you a couple of the conversation pieces that she was having on Entertainment Tonight. If you didn't watch this last season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, she spent a lot of the season talking about this guy, Marciano, who's not even on her show. He's on Vanderpump Villa. And she's saying basically that he assaulted her from tapping her on her butt. And then she went even further off the show on social media, and he finally is fighting back. But this is her little narrative about it.
Much of the drama between you and the other girls stems from what allegedly happened during your visit to Vanderpump Villa with a man named Marciano. I'm here with you, and I'd like to know what happened in your words.
Unequivocally, what I've said happened. I was sexually assaulted and inappropriately touched without my consent. My husband and I were talking about this earlier, and I just said, how sad. We've progressed so much as a society, and this has been an issue for years and years of women not feeling believed when they say that something happened that they feel uncomfortable with. There is footage in the hallway that this happened.
Lisa and the network executives have said that they've reviewed the footage and that nothing happened.
That's not true. I sent a demand letter for the footage to prove my innocence, and I got a response saying that they did not have access to the footage and that they could not share that with me.
There's a lot of people online that are disturbed by a comment that you left Marciano, bringing up his father who's no longer alive. Is that something that you regret doing? Do you think that line was fair to cross?
No, not at all. I regretted it the minute I pressed send. It was in a moment of rage, and it's not an excuse. That was an awful thing to say. I definitely stooped down to his level. In that moment, I was like, oh, Demi, even for you, that was low. That was not okay.
So much of the drama between you and the other.
And the comment she made, we talked about this last week, was that she made a comment about how his dad was a PUSSY, and his dad actually died in a boxing fight. Remember, we talked about that when he was 4 years old. Now, another little video that was in the same interview is with her and her husband, Brett. Now, if you guys don't know about this Brett story, this is the Fruity Pebbles couple, okay? This is the couple of Fruity Pebbles where everyone was like, what are Fruity Pebbles? Well, the Fruity Pebbles, the story was that it was her urine, her pee. I love how I'm saying urine as if pee is too much. But this is a crazy twist. And I'm sorry, you guys, close your ears if you get grossed out by these conversations. Just get ready. Just get ready. In a twist, Brittany Bateman from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was on John Hill's show on Sirius Radio. Brittany Bateman told John Hill, because she knows Demi's husband from his ex-wife. Brett's ex-wife is Brittany Bateman's friend. And she knows what the Fruity Pebbles really is. And it isn't her pee. I can't say it on the show, but you guys can probably deduce. It's another form of, can I just say it on the show? Am I allowed to say it on this show? It's something that if you squeeze a lemon, and your eyes are open, you say, ow, that blank in my eye. Okay? It ow in my eye. It in my eye. It boop. Boop. Micah said it. I'm not doing it. It boop. Like sometimes people drink this in a soda. Not this, but like it used to be a soda like 7-Up, Sprite, or it has like a lemon lime situation. Anyway, that apparently is what he was referring to when what they're referring to with the Fruity Pebbles. But back to Demi and Brett. This is how, after her insanely horrendous fallout from this last season, no one likes her. She's lost all of her friends, and I think she's had an affair. This is what he is saying about Demi.
What does this bond and relationship mean to each of you?
For me, I'm going to get choked up again somehow. She's my best friend. That's why it's just so hard for me to watch her go through what she's gone through, is because I see how kind she is day in, day out, how selfless she is, what a great friend she is. The thing that I always say is that she's the most magical person that I've ever known. I've fallen more deeply in love with her through this process. As hard as it's been and as gut-wrenching and as unfair as it has been, my level of just respect and admiration has only increased watching her navigate these things the way that she has.
To me, it's everything. And it's the foundation of our life. Like, it's the number one priority. He's been my best friend through all of it and just my rock. I'm so grateful.
I can see that. This bond is unbreakable.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
right?
I love you. Thank you for saying that.
What does this bond...
I feel fake watching these two. She looks green also. She's pulling a little Elphaba vibe. Now, let's look for a quick second at the Squirter and Fruities. Oh, whoops, did I say it out loud? At this little, at the lawsuit. Let me see if it's big enough. It's kind of hard to see. But this is the lawsuit. It's in Utah. And the complaint is he wants a jury trial. It's Marciano against Demi and Jeff Jenkins. Jeff Jenkins is the producer of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which is actually very telling that he wants the producer involved too. Basically, the beginning, it says, the intro is the fact that he's saying that she called him a sexual predator and accused him of sexual assault, damages his reputations. Says after flirting with and kissing him while filming the reality show in August 2024, Demi made those exact accusations and then repeated and escalated them on social media, shifting her story over time, but never had actual facts. And it's going on and on about different things that she did to attack his credibility, and then goes after Jeff Jenkins Productions, who's a producer on Mormon Wives, who also amplified the same accusations for profit by building major storylines around her claims, republishing her sexual predator statements, and airing the allegations in a way designed to maximize impact, while cutting Marciano out and denying him any meaningful opportunity to respond. So basically not even allowing Marciano a full way to edit himself in, do any big interviews or anything, and just kind of putting him in little clips here and there in scenes. But it says unequivocally, the statements of Engelman, that's Demi, amplified by production, are false. They accuse Marciano of criminal sexual conduct that he did not commit. They were published broadly, republished repeatedly, and framed to harden the truth in the minds of viewers. The damage has been immediate and severe, including lost professional opportunities, harassment by strangers, and lasting harm to his reputation. It talks about the jurisdiction and the parties, and then the allegations, and okay, so it talks about who they are, etc. And I want to find, okay, so it says in August 2024, Demi arrived as a guest at the Vanderpump Villa Chateau. There she met Marciano, who was acting as a server. Upon information and belief, video and audio recorders capture audio and video recordings of the entire chateau and surrounding grounds, with the sole exceptions being the bathrooms. They interacted extensively during her time on the show. For example, the two removed themselves from the larger group, flirted, and talked extensively about their personal lives. During their time together in an encounter that was not aired, Demi and Marciano exchanged a kiss on the lips. Demi then told Marciano, "I love you." Marciano responded back, "I love you too." How do you think Brett, her husband, Mr. Fruity Pebbles, is going to like this? She was full on having an affair. Like, she was cheating on her man, and he's standing by her so proudly. It's such an interesting dynamic. It's kind of, it's odd, okay? Then it continues by saying that the kiss and related contact were consensual. She did not express non-consent, did not resist, did not treat her interactions with him as an assault, because they were not. The interaction ended without incident. She did not touch him. He did not touch her in any manner she communicated was unwanted. And some of their interactions were aired, but most were not. He left the encounter under the impression that she was a friend who likely intended to leave her husband in the future, possibly to pursue a relationship with Marciano. Her later public story about her interaction changed over time. Months after filming, she began to describe the Italy interaction in increasingly negative and sensational terms. She ultimately characterized the encounter as sexual misconduct, but then as sexual assault, including by describing specific physical contact in ways that were inconsistent with her earlier account and inconsistent with her contemporaneous conduct towards plaintiff. So she changed her story. Like, that's a big problem too. So at first she started it with saying like she was having a great time. She had a great time with him, etc. She left the villa. He thought that maybe she was going to even leave her husband. And then when she got home, she was like, it was sexual misconduct. Then it turned into sexual assault. Like, these are shady, shady girls. It said that her later statements also created a broader insinuation that he had a pattern of predatory behavior, including by branding him a sexual predator and suggesting more women would come forward, even though there was no factual basis. After filming, by the way, they still had contact. So even though she said that he was a predator and that he had all this assault, when they were done wrapping, they still were friendly. They spoke on the phone for extended periods of times. He has phone logs. Okay. They exchanged calls several times, including 3 conversations on September 7th, lasting 11, 21, 31 minutes. Then on 27th of September, lasting 44 minutes. In January of 2025, they spoke on the phone for 12 minutes. In February 19th, 27th, they spoke for 10, 13, 8 minutes. In March of 2025, they spoke many times a day, 27 minutes, 37 minutes, 40 minutes. You guys, she was having a full emotional affair with this guy. This is crazy. In addition to those phone calls during the same time, she participated in video calls and on FaceTime, and her daughter was even on one of the phone calls with him. They also repeatedly texted and messaged each other after filming. The parties exchanged over 100 pages of text messages, which indicated that she considered Marciano to be a close friend and a confidant. None of the messages suggested that they had engaged in any type of non-consensual encounter, sexual or otherwise. For example, she sent him a text message trying to cheer him up and encouraged him to come out to Utah and do ketamine right after she got back from Italy. And here's some examples of the text messages. They confided in each other about the stress about working in reality TV. She said, come out to LA, come to Utah. She would say, I miss you. She confronted him about a rumor of him kissing another woman. He told her the rumor was not true, but even if it was, he would not have shared that information with her because it was private. When she questioned why not, he explained, because that would be like me telling someone our personal things together. I wouldn't betray your trust. Why would I betray someone else's? She responded, true, fair. For months after the Italy trip, she did not publicly accuse the plaintiff of sexual assault. Do I need to make it bigger, you guys? I'm so sorry. It's not big enough, huh? It's still not like that big. I hope you guys can kind of see. So after she didn't accuse him of sexual assault for months and months. Only after they started filming The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives between October to December 2024, that's when she started to kind of, turn into the fact that it was that he put his hands on her, and then turned it into it being a shove. It says the video footage of the interaction showed that no aggressive action or shove occurred. Nonetheless, the accusations led to a significant argument, and his husband confronted the man. The confrontation nearly resulted in a physical. Oh, this is someone else. This is not Marciano. This is someone else on the show in the Halloween episode. So this just showed that she was a liar, and she was making up other people's she was making up stories about even other people's. It said, because of this and other incidents as described below, Jeff Jenkins knew or recklessly disregarded many facts and created doubt concerning the veracity of Demi's later sexual assault and sexual predator accusations. In April 2025, so just a few months ago, months after the filming for Vanderpump Villa, Demi first suggested that Marciano engaged in sexual misconduct. This was in April. Hulu hosted an event where several reality stars were invited. And I believe it was here in LA. On April 21st, 2025, Marciano posted a video on TikTok saying, uninvited to the function because a 30-year-old Mormon's wife was scared I'll tell her husband the truth. At this point, the Vanderpump Villa episodes featuring both Marciano and Demi had not yet been released. That same day, and in response to Marciano's post, and 8 months after she had kissed Marciano and told Marciano she loved him, Demi commented about the video on social media with the false accusation that Marciano was a sexual predator. She wrote, also, he got uninvited by Hulu because he's a sexual predator that can't keep his hands to himself, not because I'm hiding anything from my husband. He's a lying clout chaser, Marciano. Hope your 15 minutes of fame is worth it. You're pathetic. And then she started kind of going on into the sexual predator. Then she was starting to post on Instagram. And then that new whole story started going. That's when they started airing the reunion from the season before. And that's when she did the Vile Files on May 15th. On that podcast, she lied again about being assaulted, saying I had opened up to all of the girls after Vanderpump Villa that I had been groped, sexually assaulted. I told the girls, I asked them not to tell anyone. A couple of the girls were like, you need to file against this guy. Like, if this were me, this is what I would do. And I was just like, guys, I need you to allow me to handle this the way that I want to handle it. And I just said, I need you to respect that I don't want to talk about this and I don't want to make it legal. I don't want all of everything that comes with making this legal on my plate right now with everything else going on. Like, I do not want this to be a thing. Please promise me you won't tell your husbands. Do not tell a soul. Her statement that she was groped and sexually assaulted was false and defamatory. Within the context of her statement referencing Vanderpump Villa, the statement implied that Marciano had groped and sexually assaulted her on the set. To bolster her credibility, it implied that she told her fellow Mormon Wives cast members about the assault. But during a season 3 episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, several of her castmates stated that she had told them she was not a victim. And so this is what season 2 and season 3 were kind of about. It said, on approximately May 15th, season 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was released. In a confessional interview, Demi said that Marciano had been flirtatious with her and she handled it the best way she could. As part of this confessional, production aired a clip from Vanderpump Villa, which depicted Marciano hugging Demi, and kissing her on the forehead. But during season 3, the producer, Jeff Jenkins, reportedly published and republished Demi's false sexual assault allegations. And that's the problem that he has with Jeff, is that in season 3, it was all about Demi calling Marciano a sexual predator. And that was like going on and on and on. So it says that Demi explained that following season 1, production considered staging an affair between Demi and another castmate because the show was boring. And she said this, says because of her past experience with production, Demi knew production was interested in salacious stories to avoid their program being perceived as boring, and that if she lied about Marciano sexually assaulting her, that would be a more interesting story for Jeff Jenkins to portray than the public fallout and marital discord from her flirting and kissing Marciano. Engelman was right about Jeff Jenkins. In September 2025, Jeff Jenkins posted the trailer for season 3 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on the internet, highlighting Marciano on the trailer. And the fact that he really, really chose to feature prominently the false defamatory lies that Marciano had sexually assaulted. And basically the whole thing is that Jeff Jenkins really pushed that narrative in the entire season. But he knew and recklessly disregarded the fact that Demi had not been sexually assaulted, and he didn't care. He still aired the defamatory statements concerning the assault anyway. It says Jeff Jenkins did not act as a passive distributor of the defamatory statements. Rather, he developed, produced, edited, and published a serialized program and related promotional content that repeated and amplified accusations that the plaintiff had committed sexual misconduct and sexual assault, and that he is a sexual predator. So it's pretty big, I think, in my opinion. It's really kind of crazy. Not crazy. It's a big deal that not only is he going after Demi, the fact that he's really, truly going after the producer, saying, you know absolutely that she's lying and you don't care. It's saying Jeff Jenkins had access to on-camera footage, audio recordings, and production materials from Vanderpump Villa and related filming. He was able to air footage depicting Marciano that was filmed by a separate production team during their time on Vanderpump Villa, and it would not only refute Demi's narrative, but would depict behavior inconsistent with the allegation that he committed a sexual assault. He was aware of it, but he chose not to do it. He chose to basically keep this going. And it's pretty crazy that Jeff Jenkins did this. And it just keeps going about, what he's actually asking for. And it says that he's asking, his prayer for relief is what it's called. He asks that the court enter judgment in his favor for general damages, special damages, punitive and exemplary damages, reasonable expenses, reasonable cost in attorney's expenses, etc., a newly tailored injunction, all costs, and a jury trial demanded. I would be shocked beyond belief if this goes to trial and doesn't settle out of court. You know what I mean? There is no way, to me, that he loses this. If it's all on camera, she is the worst. People like her, and in my opinion, Blake Lively, are the worst. Because in my opinion, every time these stories come out, we take every single sexual assault case less and less seriously. It's truly the boy who cried wolf. How many women out there are really getting sexually assaulted on sets or in real life? Like real, true assault. And then we have girls like this that had an affair gone wrong, or are embarrassed about the fact that they were in love with a guy that didn't like them back, or were feeling scared to lose their man, or the fact that they spent hours upon hours upon hours on phone calls with a man after he is, sexually assaulted you. There is nothing, you don't live in the same city as him. You're married. You're not scared of him. He doesn't own you. He doesn't control you. You don't have to talk to him on the phone. You definitely don't have to FaceTime him, and you don't have to show him to your daughter. It's freaking weird. Demi is the worst. The worst. And she makes it so bad for every other woman. All of these women are just the worst. Okay. And then let's end the show with some fun news. The Summer House freaking trailer is so good. You guys, you know I'm a huge Summer House fan. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you the whole thing, but I will absolutely try to show it to you. But I will, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already watched it, but I'll have to pause because you know how these things work. But it was, whoa, this is a crazy headline. This is not about Summer House, but look at the People headline that I just opened up Instagram to. Judi Dench says she thinks Harvey Weinstein has done his time after rape conviction. I knew him well, she says. I'm sorry, what? Okay, Judy. Sorry, what? Okay, Judes. Sometimes these headlines just like stop me in my tracks. Judy looks worse for wear there. Okay, let me go to Bravo. Let's pull up the trailer right here. So good, you guys. So of course I'm going to have to do it slowly. I'll have to pause it. It looks so good. You need to watch Summer House. If you are looking for a good bingeable reality show, get your ass over to Summer House. Don't watch season 1. It's not necessary. Watch season 2 on. And I don't miss Paige. I am so okay with Paige being gone. I'm sorry. I don't think Paige is needed. Am I the only one? Let's watch it. 2015. 2016. Look how cute Carl used to be. I always think, I know that he's better sober, but he used to be real cute when he was a drinker. They always do these crazy costume parties on Summer House. You guys know this, right? They always do these crazy costume parties. I am so not a costume person, but I am always in shock at Sierra's costume. She always nails them. This is the one thing about Summer House is like
Bachelor in Austin.
They've needed a hot guy for so long. The men of Summer House have just never been as cute as the girls. And West and Jesse last season were just so not like amazing at all. And so I'm so happy that they brought in a hot. It looks like he was on The Bachelor in Australia. So bring that to my screen. Carl is making out with the blonde new girl. And people can't handle it, including Lindsay. Look at Lindsay's face. Whoa. Okay, we need to talk about West and Sierra possibly getting back together. What do you guys think about West and Sierra possibly getting back together, hooking up? There's a worse husband than Kyle Cook on the planet. I mean, I'm sure there is, like one that actually kills his wife and kids, but like Kyle Cook is the worst. Oh my God. Bring it to me. Bring it to me immediately. I need it in my veins. Not a better show than Summer House on Bravo. That is the best show on Bravo. No question. Can't wait. Now there's this whole drama that Amanda and Kyle have broken up, that they're separated and broken up. And they're kind of making a joke out of it that they like the whole story was that they moved out and they're living in separate houses. And then she has like a big doll house in her house or a dog house or something. And so they're doing all these videos of like, oh yeah, I'm in my own house now. And they're making jokes out of it. And I'm thinking to myself, you're an idiot with these jokes. Why are you staying with this fucking man? The guy has cheated on her chronically cheated on this woman. What kind of woman wants to stay with a man that is a chronic cheater? Very strange. Very strange. I don't get it. Billy says Amanda kept nagging Kyle on the BravoCon panels. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And then also, I was just opening up TikTok right before the show, and I saw my friend DJ Hungry Human. She had this one TikTok up about Amanda talking about Prozac. You know how and I'm not in any way anti I'm not in any way anti what was it called? Where's the video now? I can't find it, of course. Antidepressants. Like I'm very pro anti-anxiety meds. I'm very pro antidepressants. I think it's totally appropriate if you need it. It's totally good and it's totally fine. I just find this was a really strange video. Like I don't know how I can even find it now because I'm not even seeing it on her page. But she had a video where they were doing like this red carpet on the BravoCon panel, and it was Amanda and Sierra, and they were like, "This video is brought to you by Prozac. We're here because of Prozac." Have you seen this? I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's so odd. I need to find it. It's just such an interesting thing. I mean, listen, she's a big believer in her antidepressants and how they've helped her. And so I am happy for anyone that takes it. I needed anti-anxiety medication for myself because I'm a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs without it. So I'm very pro if you need it. But I just think Amanda is like perpetually going to be unhappy in her life as long as she's with Kyle. She needs to be single and she needs to go and live her life. I would love to see a single Amanda, but I don't think anyone misses Paige in that trailer at all. All right, you guys, that is that for today. I love you. I adore you. I will see you guys later. And that's that. Okay. Have an amazing rest of your Monday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.